Welcome to the Daily Jerry Anderson podcast, where the presenter is in the process of closing down the show for the winter break, but not before giving Coilis Interruptus some instructions on what to do whilst he is away. A man has written to me and says, as you're going away for a while, maybe perhaps Mr. Coyle will be lazy. Here's a choice of openers for the show today. Right, so you can choose this. I was talking to a man last night.
You were?
No, this is the choice of openings you have.
Oh.
Okay, I was talking to a man last night. We never talk anymore. What's wrong with that shirt? When you were a little boy, did you ever chew the end of your pencil? That wasn't a good opener, that song. What were you doing in Tesco's last Friday? My eye's very sore. Your levels are all over the place. You're popping. Tell me this and tell me no more. You told lies yesterday. Emma is laughing at you. I'll substitute Janet. Stop doing that. What was the name of Gabby Hayes' horse? I dreamt about you last night. Before you start, there's a man on one. Stall a wedding. I can't find my headphones. Take the ball off the pitch. Get Ken in. Put Ken out. He has no reason to be in there. Did I tell you? I was talking to a man last night. Cooey, cooey. Do you know what I watched on TV last night? I resign. I was your number one. Which one would you like to choose?
Well, there's a call on one.
That's it. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
You see, it's multiple choice here at the BBC. Look at this chair you gave me.
That's the only chair I could find.
I'm like
arms.
Oliver Plunkett. All you can see is my head.
But that's the only chair I could get with arms.
It's the Oliver Plunkett chair. What happens is you look at the table and all you see is his head just above the table.
Excuse me. Just now that you bring this
Is
up.
Oliver Plunkett still in Drogheda?
Yes, in the glass case.
When we used to go past, we used to say, let's call and see the head.
Yeah. Now, how many chairs are in there?
5.
And count them.
1, 2, 3, 4. No, there's only 3.
No,
there's 4.
4.
And this is the only one that shrinks
There's
down.
4 chairs in there.
Uh-huh.
And I pick a chair for you.
Thank you. The one that doesn't sit upright.
People don't know that.
They don't know that, but I know it. I'm sitting looking at the top of the table like some kind of... I've got a worm's eye view here. Can't you see there's someone on the phone here? Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Jerry.
I'm sorry I had to put you through that. What can we do for you today on this fine Monday morning?
Well, I'd just like to know there's a pensioners' parliament being held at the City Hall. Are you and Sean going to participate?
Why is this call being put through, Sean?
Janet?
Janet, why are you putting pensioners through to me?
No, I
this
think
morning?
they want you to help. Would you pay attention?
I don't want... pension. I'm not a pensioner. How dare you? Look, me seat's going down. What is this, kind of Darby and Joan club?
Sarah.
Yes, Sean.
Is there a meeting of senior citizens?
Yes, there's going to be a pensioners' parliament all over the north of Ireland.
Right.
Do you realise you're talking... Hold on, excuse me a second. Do you realise you're talking to a happening person here? Do you realise that I'm DJing? I'm a sensation on the internet? I can't be talking about pensioners.
Congratulations, Jerry. Good morning.
Go ahead, sir. I'm listening to you. There you are now.
Oh, look, I was only messing. No, get her back.
No, there you are.
Oh, get her back.
There you are.
Oh, I was only messing.
There you are.
Oh, look, she took it sick. Oh, go on, get her back, please.
No, there you are. No, you see it now.
You did that.
I did not do that.
You did that.
I did not.
Go on, get her back.
No.
Go on, get her back.
Janet's doing it now.
Go on, Janet. Tell her I was only messing.
No, you see.
Is she not what? Is she coming back?
We don't know.
I'm ringing.
Ring.
What's that?
I'm ringing.
We can't have that. She's only having a bit of fun.
Her line is busy.
In an attempt to rescue his reputation and to make the lives of millions more bearable, the presenter embarks on a search for a cure for ringworm. His assistant has news of a breakthrough.
Liquid ink, whatever that is.
Liquid ink? It's what's called ink.
What?
Sean.
A fountain pen.
Oh, that?
Liquid ink.
I don't believe you. Just ink.
Okay.
Yes, no, I thought it was...
Liquid ink is ink.
I know, but I thought it was some name.
Like liquid water?
No, yeah, but I just thought, I don't know.
Liquid
And
ink.
now I'm just told,
What do you do with the liquid ink?
You just get ink.
And what do you do with
Forget
it? You drink it?
Do you dab it on the ring? You dab it on the affected area.
Oh, no, I don't think so. Hold on a minute, Janet. Listen, I remember now that stuff was put onto me, but it wasn't...
Iodine.
It was iodine.
Was it?
Iodine, that's it. Iodine looks like ink. It's iodine. That's what I used. I mean, I remember iodine being put on me, and so that person probably thinks it's ink, but it was probably iodine. But don't put anything on unless you ask a doctor first, because, remember the time we had the
Yes.
Jay's fluid in the dogs? All the vets were all ringing up. Okay, Anne.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, love.
Bye.
Bye. I nearly lost her as well.
She was about to go. And there's a call now. See how you do with Jane.
What is this
James.
about?
Oh, sorry, James.
What's this about a meat safe, is
James.
it? Where?
I don't know, on too.
Bet it's a meat safe,
I
is
don't
it?
know.
Or something about a stoat?
Do you know, I don't know what a meat safe is. Or
That you do it and know what a meat safe is.
You're the boy that just.
What about getting I bet you, is this a part for a mixmaster?
I don't know.
Is it Janet?
James.
What have we had today already? Pensioners' parties, right? Ringworm. What else? Banners. You know?
Well, what, James on too?
Mixmaster. What's next?
Go on, try it.
Fix the toaster. A door for an Austin 1100. Sorry. I'm
You're
not
bad today.
I know I'm bad. See,
wrong with you?
that woman's upset me.
No, you were bad before you came on.
I was
Because
bad
you were
before
very
I
bad in the office before you came on air.
I was, wasn't
You were
I?
very bad to me in the undertone.
I was very bad this
You
morning.
were breaking wind at Willie.
Stop
at random. No, I'm not. I'm not. I'm telling the truth.
It's breaking wind deliberately
Yes, you were.
to annoy anyone who's around. No, that's not true.
It is.
So you're crossing the line here.
No, I'm not. I'm telling the truth.
You can't tell the truth.
I am. I'm telling the
You're
truth.
telling people that I farted this morning.
Yes,
Deliberately. In front of you in the undertone. Yes, I did. I don't care.
As you
Hello, good morning.
Hello.
The only one way to waken them up. Hello, good morning. I tried talking to you, so it's no good. Here, take that. As Robbie Williams once said. The presenter's gaffe is threatening to dominate the agenda for the next 24 hours news cycle. Just before he rings Max Clifford for advice and protection, he overhears Coilis Interruptus, who's doing very little to calm the public's anger.
Right. Okay, well, I'll tell him. I'll pass on your comment to him. I certainly will. Sack him.
Oh? Calls
Yes,
from
gone too far this time. Okay, well, I'll pass that on. Okay.
calls from my head. I heard that.
For someone. Okay. Well, I'll tell him that now then.
Uh-huh.
Okay. What do you want to give your name?
No.
Okay, John.
No,
right, I'll
John.
pass that on to him, John.
I know where he
Okay.
lives.
Thank you, John. Bye
Yeah.
bye. Bye bye.
Gone too far this time? It's gone too far this time?
Yeah, so I'm not a bit happy. John said a regular listener to the programme has been for years and years and years. You should be sacked.
That's a little draconian.
Yes.
I admitted I'm in the wrong. And I'm trying to make amends here, but no one seems to be helping me at all.
We are helping
It's as if you're pleased that I've made a
Well,
mistake.
look, I tell you what, we can.
You're happy, aren't you, that I've made a mistake, aren't you? You're delighted. You and Janet are revelling in this.
No.
I'm in the wrong and you love it.
We can give you the phone number if you want to try and ring it yourself.
What's the point in having a dog if you have to bark yourself? Why don't you ring it?
Well, we are. That's what we're doing.
What's the point of me ringing? If she doesn't answer you, she's not going to answer me. She'll think it's you ringing again.
It's constantly engaged.
Nah.
So we're trying. All right. You know what I mean?
All right.
Anyway,
I think you're pretending she's not going to answer.
No, people are waiting for the story.
What story?
The story that you said you're going to tell every day.
I didn't sell it. What story did I say I was going to tell every day? When did I do this?
Stories of the Wild West.
When did I do that?
You said that on Thursday.
What did I say?
You said I said I'm not ready for one. We asked you about the true story behind Billy the Kid.
Yeah.
And you told us a brief outline
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah.
And it was interesting enough. And you said, I've got more stories. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell them. I'm going to tell a story every day.
Okay, I'll tell one today about the shop that Geronimo used to shop in.
No, you told us that. John's on one, Janet says. Is Janet's running the show here today?
That's why it's so horrible. Everything is going wrong. What is this, a meat safe again? Hello, good morning, John.
Good morning, Mr. Anderson. How are you?
I don't know.
Well, what do I tell you, sir? I usually never miss your show at the start, but I've missed it this morning. Is there any chance you could replay the wee bit that you've gotten yourself in trouble with?
Okay, then. I'll turn it back. That's it. The anger caused by one casual remark is being fanned by Mr. Coyle, who now encourages a former shirt factory worker to turn on the presenter. A violent overthrow of the show's ruling class is only days away. It's Karl Marx's fault. Patsy's turning on me as well.
No, that's it. You're having a bad day today.
I know,
You're
so everyone's
really having
turning
a
on me.
bad day today.
Am I
All right,
off
Darnian,
here?
all right. Okay, say what you want. Go on.
Here was a man coming on to talk about a programme that's on television tonight about the shirt factory, and he worked in the shirt factory for 23 years. That's as much as we know.
So I asked him, had he
That's
any
what-
trousers on? He said no.
And that's you, and then you remember this, and you remember that, and I remember this, and I remember that. It's all about you. It's well named, this programme, isn't it? The Jerry Anderson Show.
See, Patsy.
No, that's it.
See what I'm up against.
No.
No, but the
fellow's telling the truth, you know.
Thank you, Patsy. Of
No, I
course
mean,
I'm
yes,
telling
I
the
mean,
truth.
the fellow's telling the truth. I mean,
Yeah.
I just wonder why I'm on this end of the phone for.
Exactly, Patsy. Exactly.
He's like the woman at the start, isn't he? He'll be hanging up in a
No,
minute.
that's it. You know what I mean?
All right, then. Well, go and ask Patsy a question
I
then.
just want to ask Patsy, wages-wise, was it a good paying job in the factory?
Well, it certainly was. The cutters at that time were about the second best paid in Derry, apart from the electricians.
Ask him what a cutter is.
We all know what a cutter
No,
is.
we don't all know what a cutter is. We know in Derry what a cutter is. People in Newry don't know what a cutter is. Ask them what a cutter is. Ask them what a bander is.
You do it.
No, you're doing this interview.
This is the Jerry Anderson show.
Well, that's,
What factory did you work in, Patsy?
Tilly Henderson's, yeah.
That's one of the oldest, isn't it? If not
Well,
the
that was
oldest.
actually the first, you know.
Yeah.
It's not there anymore.
That's not there anymore, no.
That was the factory that Karl Marx mentioned in Das Kapital. It was the first.
So we're
it was the
talking
first.
about Karl Marx now.
It was the first. Oh, yeah.
Poor-
I'm sorry.
Oh, poor Patsy. Poor Patsy
I'm
worked
sorry.
in
We're
the
talking about
factory
Karl
for
Marx.
23
The fact that he
years.
came to Derry and looked at this factory and said it was the most wonderful thing. That's not important. Karl Marx, Das Kapital, a book that changed the entire
Go on,
world.
argue with me now about that. And
Well, the reason-
What do you want to talk about? The Derry Journal?
Well, ignore Patsy. Just to continue
Well,
to
no, you
ignore
continue your
Patsy.
interview
No,
with Patsy.
I will
Go
not
on.
conti- I will not continue.
Hey, listen, excuse me. Would you two stop talking there?
No, you're
Yes,
interviewing
Patsy.
Pat. Go and ask him about
No.
money and
You're not
all.
interfering me at all.
No, Patsy, yes.
No, you're listening.
Yes.
Do you know why Karl Marx entered it in Danish book? Well, I'll tell you why. Because at that time, the girls had a reasonably good working conditions. First of all, any girl that was sick was transported to Rathmullen to recover it. Second of all, Marshall Tully had actually an adult education school up at the very top of the factory where young girls learned to read and to write. Of course, it was in his own interest because he had a captive schoolgirl there that he could transfer down into the machines. And the money wasn't too bad, I suppose, at that time. But basically, that's why he was very impressed with the working conditions. Though, you know, it was still Victorian. It was still a Victorian factory. It was very cold.
But also the most
Sorry,
interesting.
Ask me another.
Also, the most interesting thing about Tilly and Henderson's factory was it was the first factory that was ever built for the mass production of clothing in the world.
That's right. Yes. That's
See,
right.
and of course they knocked it down.
They knocked it down.
I mean, if that was anywhere else in the world, it'd be a museum now. But it's not there. It's a big hole in the ground where it used to be. And go and ask him another question,
No, I
that smart arse. Go on.
I will not. No,
Go on,
no,
smart ass,
no,
go on.
Go on. I want to hear where you're going with this. Go on.
I was finished 10 minutes ago.
Because you never asked Patsy anything.
Because-
Patsy ended up interviewing himself.
I know, but that's the best way. At least he knows what he's going to say. Just in time, the presenter's morale is raised by the good and true people of Ulster who, of course, rallied to his cause. He will be taken undercover to a safe house where he will answer questions about greyhounds and badgers.
I go to a wee pub quiz on a Wednesday night around the Blackstaff bar,
Yes.
and after every round I throw a question out for a free drink.
Uh-huh.
So he shouts out, "What animal hunts by?" And I shout out right away, "Greyhound."
Yes.
And the bar went into an uproar. They thought I was cheating. I said, "Well, you can blame Jerry Anderson." That was the answer to the question.
Well, was that right?
What animal hunts by sight? And I shouted, "Greyhound."
Yeah.
So we got a free pint off you.
Oh, that worked.
Yeah, that worked.
You see, it's right. A lot of people say it wasn't true, but apparently it is.
Oh, well, it must be true. When I shouted out,
You only had
I
right
said, "Well, Sean Coyle asked Jerry Anderson."
You see?
Jerry Anderson said Greyhound, so I got a free pint out of you. Thanks very much.
Thank you, not at all. I hope you enjoyed it.
Well, indeed.
Good man. Thank you.
Right, Jerry.
Thank you. That lady who rang... Yes, excuse me?
You
Yes?
didn't answer that.
What?
You took all the credit for that. You took all the credit.
Of course I did. It's called The Jerry Anderson Show.
Yeah, but it was me.
The lady who
I asked you the question, what's the only dog that hunts by sight? And you said, I don't know. And I told you, I said, greyhound.
And I said, that's right.
You says, shut up.
That's
what
right.
you
Said,
said.
shut up. That's because I knew the answer, so I said, shut up. The lady who hung up previously obviously hasn't heard the programme before. Otherwise, says Joanne, she would have known your sense of humour. If she is listening, I would like to tell her that those of us who have heard your show before know that you would never knowingly say anything to upset anyone, and she should have just played along for the crack. You would have been nice to her eventually. My advice to listeners who phone in is to give as good as you get. I couldn't have put it better myself.
That's good.
But I still feel a pang
I
of guilt.
know you do.
Thank you for listening. Back tomorrow. Welcome to the Daily Jerry Anderson podcast, at the beginning of which the presenter is forced to re-examine the crimes against humanity he had committed yesterday, before lunch. Great show yesterday. In the 90 minutes allocated to your good self, you performed the following. We heard you insult all your senior citizen listeners. You told an interesting ex-shirt factory worker to button it. You feigned concern for the listeners. You accused your BBC staff of conspiring against you. You spread ringworm throughout the province by breaking wind. You messed up the start of 4 songs. You failed to uphold BBC standards and blamed it all on one of the Marx brothers who visited Derry. I feel another Sony Award is on the way. Yes, it was a classic program.
I need help
I know
from
you
your
do.
programme.
Yes.
I need a rub.
Yes. A rub of the relic, boy.
No, honestly,
a rub of the relic.
I need something. I've got a knee.
I see. I think, as a matter of fact, you have 2.
I've this knee inside.
Which one's bothering you?
My what is it?
Inside knee?
Left hand.
Your left knee. It's called the left knee. That's bothering you, is it? Is it giving way?
The inside of my left knee.
What do you mean the inside? You mean inside the actual cap itself?
No, inside. No, the inside part and your
What do you
knee.
mean inside?
What do you call it?
The back of your knee?
No, the inside of my knee.
You mean inside your leg?
No,
Janet, what's he talking
the inside of my leg. Janet understand, don't you? The inside of my leg.
What does he mean
is
when he
sore.
talked about the inside of his leg?
The inside part?
Your inside leg? Is that what you're talking about, your inside leg?
Down that leg.
You mean down the inside of your leg?
Yes, the inside leg.
The left-hand side of your left knee?
Yes.
Why did you just say that? So the inside of your leg?
The
What does
inside
that
of my
mean?
leg sore, just at the knee.
Uh-huh.
And it's sort of touch. It's so the bottom half of my leg is screwed on wrong. Do you know what I mean? I wanted to click or something. Do you know what I mean? It's very.
I can't help you with
I had
this.
bother getting a good position in bed last night.
Oh, I'm sure you had.
I was twisting. Stop you that. I was twisting and turning,
I know.
and I couldn't get my leg comfortable.
I know. Listen,
All I want to know is, should I rest? Or I've been doing an awful lot of walking, more walking than usual.
that's just what it is. You've ground your knee down.
That's what I'm thinking.
I know
But
the
why does
gr-
it not happen to the other one? It's the same age.
A listener rings in search of a garden shed, here pronounced shade. It's a great leap from garden sheds to nuclear warfare, but the presenter is well capable of easily straddling that gap. What are you going to keep in it?
A hackle.
Rubbish?
I bought my wee lad a quad there last year, you know.
A quad? Yes.
I know one of my bikes, so it's for that.
Mm-hmm. Did anybody ever criticize? Did anybody ever? Can I ask you this without being cheeky? Did anyone ever criticize you for buying your kid a quad? You know, sometimes they tell parents not to. Did you ever worry about that?
Oh, God, a lot of people spend at me about that, but sure.
Mm-hmm. You're not afraid he might hurt himself? Or?
I got it for a good price, so I had to snap it, you know.
That's a good reason. That's a good reason. Anyway, it doesn't matter if he hurts himself or not. Just as long as it's cheap. Doesn't matter if he runs a whole house.
Yeah, you're a good lad. Cheers. Your show's brilliant.
Oh, thank you. We'll try and get you. We'll try and get you a shade. Anyone out there who's got a shade? I keep saying shade. I love it. I love it. Give me an excuse to say cran. Harlan and Wolf crans.
Good lad.
All right then. If anyone the rings up, we'll let you know right away. Okay.
Cheers, good man.
Bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
I don't think
Got
you
a queer
handled
and cheap.
I think you handled it very well.
That's a great answer.
I know.
That's great. You're not worried that your child might be hurt. Just cheap. That's a practical Ulster-Scott solution there. Now, boys, doesn't matter what it is. Listen, there's a boy. Listen, there's a sale of nuclear bombs over there, and you know where the submarines are. You know the way they're getting rid of them submarines. You know them Polaris missiles. You know them intercontinental ballistic missiles. They're selling them. But the only thing is, if you get one of them and it went off, it would just destroy the whole of Belfast. But I'll tell you what, they're cheap. They're a bargain. I wouldn't pass one up. You just look after it, you know, make sure it doesn't go off.
Would you buy your boy a quad?
No way.
No, would I?
He's 35.
See us laughing.
He's a laugh. It's a genuine laughter too, not the usual false laugh. It's great. The presenter finds he has to run upstairs to retrieve an important piece of paper, vital to the programme. He has never been upstairs before whilst his programme was being broadcast. He senses something wrong. It's too quiet. Mm-hmm. Do you know the way when we're upstairs in the morning, you know, at about 9 o'clock? Janet, this is interesting. Maybe you could listen.
Sit up straight and pay attention.
Do you know the way in the morning, whilst we're upstairs, I mean, I'm in here every morning at 6, half 6, honing the script. whenever you come in about 20 past 10, what's the first thing you notice? All the radios are on, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
There's not one on. There's nobody listening to us in our own station. Not one person. I went up, there's total silence up. Everybody's turned their radios off. What is that supposed to do to me? I mean, how am I supposed to
They're
feel?
working, Janet says.
But why are they not working between 9 and half 10 when Nolan's on? That's that's when he should turn it off. They're all listening. You see, Janet's gone back to the phones.
Yeah. What are you reading? What are you doing?
I'm looking at my things here. Yet another reminder, says Bobby Foster, of the difference between entomology and etymology. You see, you can't do anything right. I think you really meant to say etymologist in the current context, as insects were not part of the conversation. I did say etymologist. I know the difference between entomology and etymology. Do you know the difference between etymology and entomology? Entomology is a study of insects. Etymology is a study of the origin of words. And the reason that you can tell them apart...
Is that stones as well, too?
Pardon?
Is that the study of fossils and stones?
No.
What is that called? What ology is that?
I don't know. Paleontology, archaeology. I don't know. That's the finding of. You mean geology?
You know when you look and you get
geology.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not. When you look at the fossil inside the stone.
Well, yes, that's paleontology.
Is it paleontology? That's what I'm. I knew it was anology. Someone who's ology.
Stop it.
What?
What's the difference between entomology? How do you tell the difference?
You can't ask him anything.
No, you're trying to trip me up.
I'm asking.
You always try and trip me up.
I ask you for a point of information.
Snappy.
Janice says you're snappy.
That's because you were sniggering yesterday.
That's not because you're snappy.
You snigger, I snap. You snigger, I snap.
There's something. You're not right. You are not right, boy. And Janet pointed it out yesterday.
There's no tan on.
Janet says you have no tan. You're very pale.
That's what it is.
What's wrong with you? You're not. What's wrong with you?
I need browned. The talk turns to, what else? A documentary on television last night about shirt factories in Derry. The presenter followed the programme closely.
You looked the part last night on that show about shirts.
Well, that was my old neck. Did you notice my old neck?
Yeah, but you were posing. He posed. He posed very badly.
No, he didn't.
He did. He posed.
He looked the part.
How many times did you do that walk past the window scene?
Well, I was asked to do it.
How many times did you do it?
18 times.
I would think so, because you looked fed up doing it.
Fed up walking.
No, he didn't.
He did. And he posed, and he was putting his putting his nose up in the air.
I was trying to look pondering.
Yes.
I was pondering.
As if you're interested in the shirts.
I don't care about shirts.
No.
Listen, never mind him.
All right.
Jerry, what I was saying about yourself.
Yes.
You brought back a load of memories to myself. I'm an old cutter myself.
You're an old cutter.
Yep. Oh, when I say old cutter, I'm only 42, but...
Yeah, but you're a past cutter.
Well...
Everybody had an occupation. They were cutters, banders, stitchers.
I've done a bit about all.
They all had a special role to play.
That's right. I was absolutely... You brought back loads of memories of my childhood.
How many women were in the factory that you worked in?
About 130.
Oh, you were underprivileged then.
Mm-hmm.
You were neglected.
I haven't done it as a 16-year-old YTC.
Did they ever take off your trousers and throw you out in the street?
Tried.
That's what they always did the first day you were in.
Too quick.
Because I used to see them. I used to live opposite the street from the factories, and every once in a while, you see.
I don't believe that story. I don't think the girls of that era would have been doing that sort of.
Yes, they did.
Yes,
they would have been
did.
Afraid to have the clergy down on top of them.
They did.
They did not. Are you telling me now they took the trousers off men and threw them out on? Not at all.
Yes.
No.
And the men would stand there holding their shirt round their essentials.
I don't believe you for a
Until
second.
many's a bare bum I saw.
No, that's a lie.
A man doesn't have to flash himself. I mean, if somebody takes off your trousers, Janet, take off his trousers and throw them out in the street. You'd soon find.
Do you want me to back you up here?
You'd soon find a way to conceal the crown jewels. Do you know what I mean? The presenter was particularly interested in those who worked in the shirt factories. He often went out of his way to mingle with them. They were women. Well, at that time when you're young, you know.
What age were you?
35. No, I was like
You were
12,
a teenager.
12, 13,
Yeah,
14.
yeah.
When you're starting to become aware that girls aren't just fellas with long hair. And there are reasons why they don't play football, you know? And you're beginning to kind of say, oh, she's nice. And you don't know why. But you can't talk to girls or anything like that. Because you don't know what to say to them. You know, they're all older than you anyway, and they just think you're a wee shrimp, which you are. Well... I don't know. I don't like this. It's.
Yes.
I feel uncomfortable
But it's
telling
true.
this. Of course it's true. That's why I feel uncomfortable telling it. It was 10 minutes every morning when they got a break, and the girls got a break, and 10 minutes after every noon they got a break. So they got a break at, I think it was 10 to 11, or was it 11 o'clock?
Your house was right beside one of the major factories.
Stop telling my stories
I'm
for
only trying
me.
to paint a picture. You always say to me, paint the picture.
I know, but I only
trying
said
to
you. I
paint-
only say you paint the picture when you don't paint it. Give
Well,
me
you
a
never
chance to
painted
paint
the
my own
picture.
picture. I'm painting it.
Go on
Can
then.
you not see the paint here?
Paint the picture.
I've
Lived.
already supplied the information.
Was it the city factory?
No, it wasn't a city
Well, what
factory. Stop
factory
supplying
was
the
it?
wrong. Stop painting the wrong paint. I lived opposite of a factory called Hogg and Mitchell's factory. There were 1,500 girls worked in there.
Right.
1,500. And I would see them all coming out at 11 o'clock, and they'd jam into my uncle's shop. And they had 10 minutes to get a cigarette and a bun. Cigarette was the most important. You had the bun on the way in, but you smoked a fag. They're all in, they had to buy the bun, you see, and buy the cigarette. You see, they'd all have one fag. They're all buying one fag. So at 2 minutes to 11, I used to go over and stand in the shop and wait for them all to come in and crush against me. I'm not proud of this. Because they'd be standing there and be going, oh, excuse me. Then I'd be back again at 4. And then when they all went back, I went home again. It was terrible.
That's your wee shirt factory story.
I know, but it's uncomfortable.
Yes, I know, but
you
it's
see,
true.
you're just exploring your own feelings.
Yeah.
And you didn't know what you were. I mean, you weren't kind of grabbing them or anything. You know what I mean?
No.
You weren't doing that. You were just letting yourself be pushed about.
Yes. Anyway,
I'm ashamed of that. I don't know.
John's still there.
Is he? I don't know why I feel ashamed of it, but I think I felt guilty at the time,
Don't be.
Don't be? Thank you.
No.
All right, okay, I feel okay now. I feel better now that I've got that off my chest. Carlos interrupts, then attempts to recall if he has ever been to Graceland. He appears unsure.
No, have I ever been to Graceland? I don't know. I haven't
You
been to
don't know?
Graceland. No, I don't. I haven't been to Graceland, but I don't know if I want to go to Graceland.
I think you do, in the back of your head.
No, because I'll tell you why. When I go into places, like stately homes that are cordoned off, and there's only certain places you can walk, it annoys me greatly. Because I want to climb over the rope and go where the places where you don't want. And apparently Elvis' house is like that. You're sort of directed through it, and there's places obviously that you can't get to. And that's not what I want.
Don't fence me in.
I want to see his kitchen. I want to see where
His toilet where he died.
I want to see where he put his shoes at night. Wee things like that. I just want to nosy about his house.
Not many people want to know where Elvis puts his shoes at night.
Well, the last time we were in London, my wife and we were down. We queued up to get into Buckingham Palace, but it was such a hot day and such a.
Funny, any time I go, I'm invited.
You're one up.
Sorry,
That's good. No, that was good. That was good. That was good.
I'm sorry
Okay.
about that.
Touche.
How long did you queue?
We abandoned. We said no, we're not. And so I said we were standing looking at it and said this is fabulous, but it would be nice to have a wander around that. No, free and let.
Your wife said that's where Jerry goes?
No, and then I said let's look round the back.
Around the garden, yeah?
I wanted so we went away around
The wall's
back,
too high.
You can't see it, of course. It's all the gate. But I wanted to see it, and there's some.
That's the gate I go in.
Some very expensive shops round there.
But wouldn't you imagine that? I mean, you're not going to
Very.
get a pound shop, really,
no,
are you?
Some.
Well, you see, this is
but I
Knightsbridge.
like that part, but this is the part that I want to see in here.
It's what's called looking around you. You should do it more often.
I know.
Hello, Jerry. What about Fatsy, Francie, Patsy, and Marty and Barney? Are they still in business? Well, there's no Marty. Marty's bought out. We bought Marty out. There's myself. I'm Francie. There's Patsy. There's Barney. We bought Marty out. He's getting the sub-strippers. There's cantankers. He's looking at the books, and he said to us, he says the other day, he says, I'm just wondering, boys, the wisdom of the putting them clocks back, because apparently there's a government man coming round looking at the clocks and looking to see if there's any evidence that they've been, put back there. So we said to ourselves, to get rid of this boy here. There's some scruples coming up here. There's scruples appearing. And see when scruples appear in the business, the car business, you get them out to hell's gates. Because you don't want no conscience or scruples or any kind of, If they want to put the clocks back, and that's it now. If there's 30,000 miles up there, it's 10. Right? That's, you chop 20,000 off. And shine her up in the front, they'll never know the difference. Change the wheels on her.
Tell us this. What will the boys do when everyone's driving electric cars? What will Patsy, Barney and Fancy do then when it's electric car?
Well, we've made a step in that direction, and it's because there's just saying Patsy, just mind there, Patsy. I'm saying Patsy, we can't stand still in this world. So he says we have to get in tune with the revolution. I'm not talking about the shinners or nothing, you know. I'm talking about the business itself, the cars. So I said to Patsy, go out and get yourself an electric kettle. That's how we'll start. That's how we started. And we're working up to a toaster. So what will we do then is we'll get the cars in. We'll get the cars. And we'll get the plugs, you know, big plugs you need for the cars. I mean, can you imagine what kind of plug you need for an Austin 1100?
Do you ever see the day when you shall have your own windmill, your own wind farm?
Well, I've been looking at renewable energy, and I was saying to Barney now, because Patsy was out getting the kettle. I said to Barney, give us a look at your carbon footprint. And I felt it in my arse. You know? And he says, that's all the footprint you'll get of me, boy. And that was the last time I asked him. A scurrilous accusation has reared its ugly head, an accusation so damning that the presenter reckons it must be 100% true. I'm going to put this to you, and I want a simple yes or no. Is it true that at one stage, whilst I was away doing something else and you were in this seat, is it true that you once played I Was Kaiser Bill's Batman? Come on. Don't be ashamed of it.
No, yes.
By Whistling Jack Smith.
Coming up to the news, about a minute up.
No. That's from a man.
Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I think you're nearly ready for Colonel Bogey, but we'll leave that for another day. You actually did this. You played that in this programme.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Yeah, a little snatch of Whistling Jack Smith coming up to the news.
A little snatch of Whistling Jack Smith. And this is a man, Aloysius, who lives in Spain, and it lingers with him still. He lives in Catalunya.
I might play a little snatch of... what is it?
Go on, tell us what we've got in store. Yeah, you can't even whistle it. That's enough, thank you.
I tell you what, I'm a better whistler than you.
I'd never said you weren't.
Well, go on then.
It's like a man on an iron lung. Thank you for listening.